Hello Calculus 1, we are here today to look at the first fundamental concept in calculus, which is the limit. What is a limit? How does it work? Here, let me show you in your textbook where we're at. We're in chapter 3, and we're looking at this, and we say finding limits graphically and numerically, an introduction to limits. So here we have an interesting function. X cubed minus 1 over x minus 1. Now, Ms. Cahill has an excellent recording that goes through this analytically, and we'll definitely go through it analytically, algebraically in the next couple of days. But I want to do here a short introduction to it intuitively. So I'm going to graph this function. F of x is x cubed minus 1 over x minus 1. And here it is, x cubed minus 1 over x minus 1, which does not look at first glance like the equation of a parabola, but the graph sure looks like an equation of a parabola. Very interesting. We'll talk about that more as it goes on, definitely next time. So I want to make a table and look at some values. So I will insert a table here. Oops, not that. Insert a table. Not there. I want to be friendly. Insert it here. Thank you. Make me a table. Great. And instead of y1, I will put f of x1. And now I get a table. And so I can fill it in with nice little values like x is negative 3, y is 7, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. Whoa, something happened here. Something very interesting happened here. At x equals 1, it told me undefined. What's going on? It's undefined. If you look at the equation, and of course you realize, you're like, I should have noticed that. I knew that. If you put in x equals 1, in the numerator you get 0, in the denominator you get 0. This is trouble. Anytime your denominator is 0, it's trouble. When the numerator is also 0, it's a special kind of trouble. It's going to be an undefined point on the graph, but it's such a small undefined point that it's hard to see what's going on. So let's take a look. If I get close to it, I sure enough get a point that's undefined. And it says undefined on there, and it actually shows it, instead of as a point, it shows it as a whole, which is the way that you would graph one of these things. So kind of interesting. Let's talk about a limit. A limit is the idea of what the function gets close to when x gets close to that undefined value. So when you're getting close to 1, when you're getting close to x equals 1, what is the function getting close to? Now, there are a couple of ways to do this. This is the intuitive version. Ms. Cahill has an excellent analytical version, and we're all good with that. So intuitively, if you look at the graph, when x gets close to 1, here's x equals 1, it looks like y is getting close to 3. And actually, if you think about it as a parabola, it should be symmetric to this one at negative 2. So x should be close to 3. So that's a good way to look at it. We can figure that. The other way to look at it is what happens when you do get close to 1. What are some numbers that are close to 1? I'm going to just delete all of this table. No, I can't delete the whole thing at once. Some numbers that are close to 1. 0.9 is close to 1. 0.99 is even closer to 1. 0.999 is really close to 1. 0.99999. They're very, very close to 1. And look at the y values. The y values, as x gets closer to 1, the y values get closer to 3. And that's true not just at that side, but also if you come from the other direction. If I come from x equals 1.1, or x equals 1.01, or x equals 1.0001, the values are getting closer to 3. So this is a quick way to do it using Desmos to do these calculations. You could have done these calculations with a calculator. They'd be kind of a pain. It would take a long time. Desmos is very quick about it. There are also some ways to do it quickly on your TI calculator, and there's a video showing that from Ms. Cahill. But in any case, what we have here is we have something that's getting close, and we're saying the way that you would write this. So we're looking at this and saying, as x gets close to 1, f of x gets close to 3. That's a very informal way to say it. The formal way to write this is that the limit and it's abbreviated LIM, as x approaches 1, so x gets close to 1, of the function f of x is equal to 3. That's the way the limit's going to be written. That's what it's going to look like. But informally, what we want to know is that f of x gets close to 3 when x gets close to 1. That's the idea of a limit. And you can do that either with a table, and some of the homework questions will ask you to do it with a table. You can do it this way, and you see as x gets close to 1 from either direction, y gets close to 3, f of x gets close to 3, or you can do it from the graph where you say, look, this graph goes through the point 1, 3. There it is. It should be there. So there you go. Enjoy. This is an informal introduction to limits. And again, Ms. Cahill has an excellent video, the excellent video on 3.2 that goes into this in more detail. Thank you.